What is going on, everybody? SpykerZ Xenith here. Today I'm going to be doing a hardware review on the Elgato Game Capture HD60 Pro. I did purchase this myself. This was not given to me. Basically what it's going to allow me to do is record external devices to my PC, such as console gaming or anything else that's HDMI, or that I can adapt to work with the HDMI port on this particular device. It's supposed to be able to do 1080p at 60 frames per second. It has an H.264 encoding codec in it. But honestly, that's what most video cards nowadays have in them. My particular video card, the HD7970, does have that codec. Now, the issues I'm having is when I'm trying to record a game, certain games, I get certain performance losses in there. And usually it's CPU bound, not so much GPU bound. And I understand that's usually the way it is with the codec because you're trying to record and you're trying to encode it at the same time. And it usually depends on the software and the quality settings you select. But I'm going to try to mitigate some of those and get a decent recording from the same PC that I'm playing the game on using this particular product. It has a lossless HDMI in and out, but I'm just going to use the HDMI in and use one of my DisplayPort to HDMI adapters and come off of my video card and go straight into this and duplicate monitor 1 on that particular port and see if that'll record it. That's my plan anyway, and if it works out that way, great. If it doesn't, I'm going to figure something else out. Now, what I'm going to basically do is I'm going to have a benchmark. I'm going to record the gameplay without any sort of recording software going, using a benchmark. I believe Heaven's what I'm going to be using. Pretty popular these days. And we're going to see what kind of frame rates I get using Fraps to record the frame rates on the screen so we can see a picture of what's going on with the frame rates. And I'm going to compare OBS, Open Broadcasting Software, which is what I use currently. I'm not going to change any of the settings in it. I'm going to compare Raptr, which is the AMD Gaming Evolved recording program. And it gives me issues with Counter-Strike Global Offensive. It'll crash the game randomly. I've had a lot of problems using that particular program, so I don't care about it. But I'm also going to do kind of a control test using my recording device, and I'm going to record the actual screen without any sort of background program running to record it. So that's going to be a pretty interesting one. I'm going to try to sync it up on the screen here, give you all four corners of view here. So without any further ado, let's do a little bit of an unboxing here and see what we got. All right, so first, let's get rid of this plastic. Let's check out the box here a little bit since we really didn't check it out. It's like a slide out guide here. It's pretty neat. It does say stunning 1080p quality, 60 frames per second. There's the H.264 hardware encoding. It says unlimited capture right to your PC. Flashback recording, record retroactively. Master copy, simultaneous 1080p 1080p at H.264 recording while streaming. So instant game review, stream with superior low latency technology. We'll see about that. Stream command, add webcam and overlays and more. It's pretty neat. You can add like a webcam to this as well and get your own face on there like you see all the famous YouTubers doing. And then you can do a built-in live commentary feature. I personally would probably stick with what I'm doing with Audacity and not mess with all that. Windows 10 compatible, which is good because that's what I'm using. Twitch, HDMI, YouTube, etc. So let's go ahead and pull this bad boy out. There's nothing else really interesting on the box. All right, it says Windows 7 Service Pack 1 or later, second generation Core i5 or AMD comparable, I would imagine. Let's see, it's for streaming. You obviously need a PCI Express slot and 4 gigs of RAM. Everyone's got that for the most part. It says it needs this is interesting. The supported resolutions for this is like 1080p at 60, 1080p at 30, 1080i, 720p at 60, 720p at 30, 576p, 576i, and 480p. So that's going to be able to record some of the older consoles as well. Sadly, probably not like Nintendo's or anything that's 240. All right, let's open this guy up, see what we got. Right there is the package. It looks like there's a bracket here. It's got a low profile bracket. It's pretty neat. Don't see too many of those these days. For whatever reason, they give you a neat little sticker, it looks like. Let's get the card out. Look at that. Look at the way they wrap this card up. They've got a piece of the retaining bracket sticking out of the anti-static bag here. I mean, suppose it's whatever, but that's just strange and cheap out on a bag. All right, this is what it is. This just looks like a aluminum cover over the top of it. You know, I'm tempted to take this apart and see what's actually under there. See what the chip is. Do you want to know what's under there? Because I do. We'll do that here in a minute. All right. Comes with a little badge, little sticker guy. It's actual plastic. That's not just a sticker. I mean, that's kind of neat. Probably use that if I like your product. Oh, wow. That's got a nice long HDMI cable that it comes with. Male to male there. It's probably 6 foot. Probably 6 foot. And that's all that's in the box. They don't have any CDs or anything. So I'm assuming I'm just going to have to go download the software. I'm not seeing a CD in here anywhere or even any instruction. It says right here. Let's see if I can't get that in there. Elgato.com/gaming/download. Download the Elgato Game Capture HD software to get started. So basically, I need to download the software and then get started. And there's the Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter. Well, I'm going to go ahead and get started installing this guy, and I will see you in a little while. Well, I got a little ahead of myself there. I said I was going to take this thing apart, at least take the heatsink off of it, or the aluminum cover. I don't think it's a heatsink, and see what's behind that. I know you shouldn't use a drill on this, but I'm going to turn on the lowest setting on the 1. So, I mean, it's not likely to strip anything out. So let's pull this heatsink off and see what I got back here. All right, let's see what's behind this little metal plate here. There's nothing here thermally. Let's turn that the right way so we can read it here, huh? Shall we? Just some integrated circuits. Come on, be able to see that. Mozart 395S. That's pretty neat. But I guess that's, here we go. 10-bit, huh? I'm not very familiar with chipsets, to be completely honest with you. Here's some memory. She's got some memory, I know that. Samsung memory. Pretty neat. Anyone that really knows this kind of stuff might find this interesting. I'm going to put this thing back together and get it installed in the PC. All right, so I've got this comparison set up and ready to go. The upper left-hand corner of the screen is going to be the control. I recorded that using a phone camera, actually. So it's a little washed out, a little bit of little white imbalance issues. But you're just going to have to deal with that because that's the best way to do it without you burdening the system at all any more than I have to. It's kind of a control. Fraps on the upper left-hand corner of that screen. Right below that is the Raptr benchmark. It would not pick up fraps. Just wouldn't. There wasn't an option to do it. The top right-hand corner of the screen, that's done with open broadcast software using window capture mode. That's what I usually use to capture games. But the only way I could get the frame rate in the upper left corner was to use window capture. So you'll notice that in there as well. And finally, the bottom right is going to be the Elgato HD60 Pro. That is going to be a little bit different color-wise. It's a little bit brighter. Because that's using the monitor output, and it's going to use whatever settings I have set for that, so it's a little bit brighter than it should. The brightness is a little higher, but just go ahead and keep an eye on that, and without any further ado, here we go.
All right, guys, and there you have it. Looks like the Elgato was definitely smoother than the other methods of recording as far as the open broadcast software and the Raptr program. Again, the white balance issues and even texture quality seem to be a little lackluster with the Elgato, but I'm sure there are settings I can adjust to fix that. Overall, I'm impressed, and I definitely going to have a Counter-Strike Global Offensive benchmark as well soon, just to compare and contrast, because that's the game I had the most trouble with as far as frame rates and performance went. Alright guys, well if you like what you've seen here, give me a like, a comment, subscribe, and I will see you in the next episode.